Next up, man, I wanted to talk about this because this I found to be very interesting. So, uh, we're in this generation, but younger people probably don't know who this woman is. So, the woman on, I always struggle with doing this.
Yeah, it's
The
kind of
woman
inverted.
right here, yeah. So, Candace Bergen, Candace Cameron. I'm sorry, Candace Cameron.
Yeah.
So our generation, millennials know her because she played one of the daughters, the Tanner daughters, on Full House. Full House, a sitcom from like the late '80s and the early '90s. She was like the oldest Tanner daughter, and since that show, she's remained on the acting scene. She's still in the Hollywood stuff, but she makes movies. Like she does a lot of those Lifetime movies, Hallmark movies, and stuff like that. And they brought Full House back. They reinvigorated it on Netflix.
Ew.
Full disclosure, I never watched Full House. I'm aware of it, so I know who these people are, but I never got into Full House. I was on, Family Matters and Boy Meets World and Fresh Prince.
Oh
I didn't
man,
do Full House.
Full
A
House went
little too
hard,
much.
bro.
Yeah, yeah. Full House was just a little too much whiteness for me. But
Okay.
I'm aware of it though, so I know. But just to get that out there. But that's the reason why this came across my radar is because I know this woman's career arc. I'm aware of it, and like
Mm,
now she does the Hallmark shows and Lifetime shows, very family oriented content. That's what her career amounts to. For that, I don't know anything that's non. I don't know anything she's done movies wise, entertainment wise, that is not family oriented. So if anyone knows if there's an exception to that, anyone who's watching this video, you can let us know in the comments. But as far as I know, Candace
mm.
Cameron has not done anything non-family oriented, but she is trending uh, right now because she made comments about a career move that she made, and she's being labeled as a bigot as a result of some of the comments that she made. So I'm
Yeah.
going to go ahead and read this article real quick. We don't have a clip for this, but I am going to go ahead and read this article. And so she's getting called out. Candace Cameron is getting called out by another woman in Hollywood because of comments that Cameron made about why she chose to leave one network for another. So, real quick, Candace Cameron Bure, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, Bure, Candace Cameron, we'll go with Bure. Candace Cameron Bure has ignited outrage after telling the Wall Street Journal that her new television home at Great American Family will not spotlight gay couples in leading roles. By the way, this article is from Variety. Bure, who left Hallmark Channel for Great American Family and is serving as its chief creative officer, said the network will, quote, keep traditional marriage at the core.
Oh
Bure's
boy.
comments drew scorn on social media from One Tree Hill alum and lifetime favorite Hillary Burton Morgan, who slammed Bure as a quote bigot and called both her and the network disgusting. Quote, quote bigot. I don't remember Jesus liking hypocrites like candy, Morgan wrote. But sure, make your money, honey. You ride that prejudice wave all the way to the bank. Bure told Wall Street Journal that she left Hallmark for Great American Family because she, quote, knew that people behind Great American Family were Christians that loved the Lord and wanted to promote faith programming and good family entertainment.
Straight.
Great American Family founder is former Hallmark CEO Bill Abbott, who doubled down on Bure's claim that the network will not spotlight gay couples. Quote, it's certainly the year 2022, so we're aware of the trends, Abbott said, referring to LGBTQ driven films. There's no whiteboard that says, quote, yes, this, or no, we'll never go there, or we'll never go here. Quote, now they're just openly admitting their bigotry. Hillary Burton Morgan responded. Quote, I called this shit out years ago when Abbott was at Hallmark. Glad they dumped him. Being LGBTQ isn't a trend. That guy and his network are disgusting. You too, Candy. There is nothing untraditional about same sex couples. Abbott and Bure spoke with Variety in September about Great American Family and said that its primary focus at first will be Christmas and Christianity. Bure added, quote, I think we know the core audience and what they love is exactly how Bill originally built the Hallmark Channel. That was Christmas and those traditional holidays. So that's what the focus is going to be. You've got to start somewhere. You can't do everything at once, end quote. So that's pretty much the gist of it there.
Mm-hmm.
So this woman, Hillary Burton Morgan, is calling out Candace Cameron for being a bigot, for wanting to
That's right.
be a part of creating programming that sort of reinforces traditional family values, which excludes gay marriages and gay couples. And so this is going on across the interwebs. It is trending, and people are mad because people love to get triggered. So I thought this was interesting because, hey, uh, when do we ever have more fun than discussing various aspects of cancel culture, right? Which is where this is headed. This is headed in that direction. So, did you have any initial thoughts on any aspect of this, whether it's, Burton's response or Candace Cameron's decision to do this and her line of thinking, her rationale? Did you have any ideas or thoughts on that at all?
Um. I don't know if funny is a good word to use in such a situation. Because I might get canceled. Okay, but I was laughing when I was reading the whole article. Um. Because why get so upset? And bigot is a strong word, man.
It is.
That is a
It
strong word. And
is.
you want to call her a bigot for taking a role, a role of just having a family. There's so many within TV show. That's what I'm saying. The only thing she did was take a role to play in a traditional family. So in the midst of TV shows that have LGBT stuff going on in it, there's still traditional families going on in there. So for her to just air her out in particular and call her a bigot on top of it, I felt like that was a bit aggressive. All right. This Abbott guy, um, this Abbott guy sounds like I need to watch some of his programming if he's into more traditional forms of television. Did I get canceled yet? The traditional form of television. All right. So um, but when we're dealing with television, and this is similar to the conversation that I had we was having last week.
Hmm.
When we're dealing with television, we're dealing with the entertainment industry,
Yeah.
and we're dealing with a liberal agenda industry where they're trying to promote these types of lifestyles as traditional and as normal. All right. I can go down a rabbit hole of certain things that would, point out why these things aren't traditional. All right. But I would say that they are trying to push these things and they're very aggressive with it. And I feel like there's already enough television shows that already feature this. So why does it need to be every television program? And so with modern woke culture, I'm already in the cringes. All right. When I see the token black guy, the token Asian guy, all right, the token feminist, okay, the token emasculated white man, uh everything. I
Yeah.
mean, and there's
Yeah.
a full cast of stereotypical modern woke culture stuff that I can't stomach. That's why I can barely watch movies, you know. And so, hey man, some because I don't watch TV movies and stuff like that anyway. But if I'm chilling with a chick or something like that and she turns something on, I'll entertain things, or if family recommends something, I'll look at something. But hey, I got a short leash. And as soon as I
Hmm.
start seeing some foolishness, I'm cutting it off. I'm cutting it off. And a lot of this stuff nowadays, it's like, I can't watch this. Well, why can't you watch it? Because of this, because of that. Just get to the movie. get to the plot, but they got to throw all this stuff in my face to appease all of these demographics. And it's just like there is some type of whiteboard where they go, hey, um, demographic check. All right, we need this
Yeah.
person, we need that person, we need that person. And then I'm tired of these casts that have all of these people in it that to appease all of these people so all of these people can, feel like they have some part in the movie, you know. So I could go on, but those are initial reactions. How about yourself, sir? How do you feel about it?
Bro, yeah, 100%. This stuff is so cringy. And the Burton woman,
Right.
she first of all, Bigot is 100, that is heavy-handed.
That is a heavy
Like,
word.
calm down. But see, she she's using that language because she knows she's going to get celebrated in troll world for saying that.
Right.
So there's no penalty for that. But it's like, step back, take a breath, calm down. Your world is not going to end because you have one actress who decides that they want to make programming that appears to more of a traditional family values, from a traditional family values perspective. Like, relax, go on a vacation, have a drink with your husband, go take your kids to school, maybe, cook some dinner, plan a friends night. You can get all of your, affluent friends over there so that y'all can play Scrabble or whatever games you guys like to play. There's more things to life going on. Go walk your dog. She probably has a dog.
He
Go
does.
walk your dog. Go do that and calm down. Like, get off your soapbox. And another thing, like she said same there's nothing non-traditional about same-sex couples. I'm willing to concede that. I'll concede that because there's been gay couples since the beginning of time.
Right.
Ancient civilizations, there's been all of that stuff going on. But Candace Cameron isn't challenging that notion. What Candace
Exactly.
Cameron is what Candace Cameron is saying is marriage and family. And I'm sorry, whether you like it or not, same-sex marriage is non-traditional. It's not. It is. That is something that has not been a traditional staple of human existence since we started this whole thing. Therefore, by default, it is non traditional. So don't shoot the messenger. This is the way the world has always been. So, like, Candace Cameron is saying, this is the stuff that I care about because it's the way that I was raised and it appeals to my sensibilities. And I want to make programming like this. And really, the only mistake that she made was vocalizing it. Because, like, it's sad. Like, now, I don't like the fact that she can't just say this without incurring backlash.
Mm-hmm.
But she said it when really she should have just gone about making the shows or whatever she's doing. People probably would have noticed it and they probably would have been slick about it in troll world. But would there have been a media firestorm if she hadn't have made the comments publicly like that? I'm guessing probably not. Or if it was, it might not have been to the degree that it has been because she made the comments. Who knows? I don't know. These days, I don't know anything for certain. I'm just kind of guessing at this point. But I feel like that's the only error in judgment that she made. But again, I can't even say that it's an error in judgment because she shouldn't be chastised for saying this is the type of programming that I want to make. Like, I brought this up a couple weeks ago, I think. It was whenever we did the Kanye video where Kanye talked about no one having less of a platform than straight white males. And I agree with him. I agree with most of the things that Kanye says, actually, because most of them are true. But he said straight white males don't have a platform. If they say something, it's racism, or it's or the patriarchy, or they hate women. It's misogynistic. Straight white males can't do anything anymore, or unless they have to watch what they say and do because it will be misconstrued to fit a particular type of narrative. And I said then that people should be able to express disagreeable points of view, but we've forgotten how to understand the line between what is disagreeable and reprehensible. At the most, what Candace Cameron said is disagreeable. Is it reprehensible? Of course not. She's not demonizing anyone or anything or any group of people. She's just saying these are the types of programming that appeal to my sensibilities, which, newsflash, ladies and gentlemen, not everybody has the same sensibilities. So if you are this LGBTQ X, Y, and Z advocate out here who thinks that every TV show and every movie needs to have a swath of gay people running all over the place, understand that not everybody has those sensibilities like you. And if that individual expresses those sensibilities, it doesn't make them a bigot. It just makes them somebody who has sensibilities that aren't the same as yours. But we're dealing with this weirdo hyper liberal world where we're trying to push these agendas on the people. Like, and I said it before, it's become so one sided that it's very cringy. If I went on national television right now, and let's say that I went on let's say I went on a news show and somebody was asking me about family stuff, family values, some of my opinions or some of my sensibilities. And they said, well, JV Wins, how do you envision raising your family? Which is a neutral question. So I'm going to give you my answer. And let's say that I would let's say that I would answer that question by saying, I look forward to raising a family where my children identify with the sex in which they were born. I prefer that if I raise a male, that male identifies as a man, and I prefer that if I have a female, that female identifies as a woman. And I'm going to socialize my children to continue to identify with the sex in which they were born. And I do not have a preference for my children having fluid sexuality or wanting to identify with whatever gender that they choose. That's not a preference for me and my family value structure. I would get destroyed for those comments. Like, I would get destroyed. I would get raked through the coals if I had
You
endorsements.
sound like a bigot right now. You saying that.
Exactly. If I had endorsements, I'd lose them. If I had a sneaker deal, I'd lose them. And those are my personal family values. Now,
Mhm.
on the flip side, let's say that I was asked the same question on said news program, and I responded with, I look forward to having a marriage, and maybe it's a man, maybe it's a woman who's my spouse. And, I look forward to raising gender neutral children who identify sexually however they choose. If I said that, I'd get applauded. I'd be a hero. I'd be celebrated. And my thing is, why is one righteous and the other not? Like, we're dealing with opposite sides of the same coin. Not everybody has the same sensibilities when it comes to things like family values, but this. We have perverted the ideal of family values into something where one side of it is righteous and the other side of it is to be demonized. And this is what you see playing out in this particular situation. All this woman did was say, these are my family values, and I choose to provide programming that speaks to those. Why is that a problem? And why does that make her a bigot? It doesn't. It's like what y'all want is like what you just said. What y'all want is for every TV show to have a gay person, a trans person, a black person that is preferably being victimized by racism, a weak, emasculated, straight white person, and a female who's running shit. So
Yep.
y'all want every TV show or every form of entertainment and programming to speak to that. And it's like, look, man, if that's what you want to do, have at it. But understand that there's room for everything. If you don't like other types of programming, just turn the station. It's not going to ruin your world. It's not going to stop you from breathing. And it's not going to it's not going to prohibit you from doing whatever it is that you want to do. But
Exactly.
yeah, woke culture is real. This woke stuff is a real thing. Ironically, woke people try to make wokeness seem like it's a term being weaponized by bigots. Like, that's what woke people like to do. They like to play that card where they're saying, oh, all of y'all who keep crying and complaining about wokeness, really, you're just trying to hide from your latent intolerance. No, like, no one's a bigot because they adhere to certain sensibilities that are opposed to yours. It's a big world out here. Not everybody thinks the same as you. So, this woke culture is real. I firmly anticipate that this woman, Candace, is going to apologize at some point in the near future. If she hasn't done so already, she probably did so within the last couple hours since I learned about this story. But I believe that that's coming down the pike. And she's now probably going to have to make a couple movies or TV shows, a year that feature a gay couple or a gay marriage or some crap like that, because this is what you get. That is going to be her comeuppance, right? The penance that she is going to have to pay is going to appease all of these easily triggered individuals who have nothing better to do than to sit in comment sections waiting to be triggered by something that offends them. And so it's unfortunate. It's sad and it is cringy. I feel the same way that you feel whenever I watch this stuff, and I'm with you, bro. I don't even watch TV. If I do watch shows or movies, it's something that takes me into fantasy land. I'm watching Marvel comic stuff. I'm watching Game
They
of
sneaking
Thrones.
that shit in there too now.
They are, and it is, and I find it personally, I find it gross. But they are sneaking it in there. I agree, and I'm 1 foot out. But that's why you got me in fantasy land. I'm in fantasy land. Give me orcs, goblins, and outer space, without socio-political mumbo jumbo. I can do without it because it's just become white noise at this point, and I'm
Mm.
tired of it.
Yeah, and I don't know. For me personally, it doesn't. To me, I don't see why I get so upset. And this is definitely not the early '90s, the mid '80s, or the '70s, where it's everything's just anti, right?
Mhm.
Nobody cares anymore. So I rarely run across heterosexual people who give a damn anymore. No one
Right,
cares.
right,
But in the early '90s, there were slurs, there were all kinds of words being used. And man, nowadays people just really don't care. People know a family member. People know, people have coworkers that they're cool with. That's part of the community, and no one cares, man. I know I don't. But I still have my preference.
right.
And so it's a problem that I have. So you want, and it's just like those people who, it's like the trans people who say that you're a bigot if you don't want to date them. And it's just like, it's like, we got this far. This is how far we're getting. Y'all can't, y'all not leaving no stone unturned. They're creating stones just to turn them over. It's like
Hmm.
nobody said anything about this. Nobody cares. And so, like I'm saying, like this, if it's not on already every damn TV show, you know, it's already there. You're already having your representation. Why get more? They're getting their full length movies now. They're getting their full length romance movies. Have at it, man. I don't give a damn anymore. I mean, those parades are packed enough. So I'm sure there's an audience to watch these rom-coms that are same sex now. Have at it. Let people that want to live their way and stop trying to impose y'all will on us. So no one cares. I don't.
No one really. I
So
really don't give a damn.
yeah,
Yeah.
of course, while I was growing up, yeah, I was raised and to be a certain way. I'm still that way, but I was raised to use certain words and stuff like that. But as I grew older and I ran across people in that community and they personally told me how certain words were hurtful or certain ways of saying things was hurtful. And I know that that person's a human being at the end of the day. And it's like, hey, man, I understand that certain people don't like certain things to be said. So I let things slide. So I said, I don't have to use that word or I don't have to, be whatever. So I just let things go and I just say, hey, man, have at it. That's what you want to do. That's more vagina for me, man.
Right.
That's just that. It's just more for me out here. How
Right.
about that? But
Right.
but then it's still a situation where when people just trying to walk down the street, bigot, what? I'm literally just going to my destination. The only thing Full House Girl is doing is going to her destination, making her decisions the way she wants to. All right, she's not having an episode on her TV show where they're slurring or getting at them. She just wants to have a husband and children who identify as boy and girl, go to school and marry with, the opposite sex.
Right.
Where's the crime? Where's the crime? Bigot! And so that's my thing with all of this stuff. You know, with this agenda and other agendas, they won't. Whoever's pushing these things won't be satisfied until everybody is doing all of this stuff, and that's not it either. So if we gave you your side of the street and said you can have it, let us have ours. Let us have it, and just leave us the hell alone. And so I would still argue that there's still more heterosexuality than there is homosexuality. And so for the people that just want to go ahead and live that way, let them live. But again, with these agendas, they will not be satisfied until they get into the minds of the youth who are growing up. And if you came out, like you said, if you came out and said that, yeah, my kids can be gender fluent, you know, uh, they can be whatever they want. I'll inject them with hormones before they're old enough to vote. I'll inject them with hormones before they're old enough to decide they want to drink or smoke tobacco. Then you can, be Dwayne Wade
Mm-hmm.
and be vice president of basketball operations of.
Yes, I would be a hero. I'd be a hero. It's disturbing. I'd be
And
a
then,
hero.
yeah, and then so yeah, man. With this agenda, man, I'm not for it. I don't care for it. And I know people that are in that community who've seen enough. They say, "Hey, look, I get it." They're saying that, and
Yeah.
I had to train uh, LGBT sensitivity course for my last job that I had, and there were people of the community that would say things like, and there's bigotry within the community.
Yeah.
There's hatred within the community. I was like, what you mean? And I had to show them certain slurs and stuff that's not cool to say and all this other stuff. And I said, I've never heard of this one. And they said, no, gay men use that towards trans people. I'm like, what? Or trans men say this towards uh gay women or whatever. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, well, I didn't know that. I'm just reading off the list, but they were giving me the
Mm-hmm.
inside scoop of the bigotry that goes on within that community.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a thing where it's just like, hey man, let people live. Nobody's out here calling you slurs. Nobody's out here burning you at the stake. People aren't gunning you down in the streets. Just we're letting you live. So let us have a damn TV show. One. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, and to speak to the token stuff again, uh, and this is a challenge. This is a challenge to all the viewers here. Go watch a movie that's came out this year, last year, or within the last 5 years, or one of the latest TV shows, and see if you don't see a token something in there floating around that really doesn't serve any purpose outside of being the token Asian, outside of being the token black guy who happens to be homosexual, you know, or the token, or the white guy who's a knucklehead, and the woman who runs the show, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what's going on. So I challenge you guys. You guys are going to see one of those elements. And so that's all that's happening nowadays. They can have at it. That's why, I mean, I stopped watching TV before this, but whenever I do run across any form of these TV shows or what have you, yeah, it's replete. So
Yeah.
go ahead, Full House girl. And I can't believe you didn't watch Full House, bro. Like
No, I didn't.
I used to
Yeah.
jam that, man. It was just
I
TV.
missed it. Yeah, I missed it. I missed it.
I had the
I missed
whole.
Full House.
Everybody watched the full line. At least I thought they did. The
Nah,
full
yeah, I missed
entire
it.
lineup.
Yeah. I missed it. Full House missed me somehow. I caught Family Matters and Boy Meets World, Step by Step,
You watched Step
Fresh
by Step
Prince,
over Full
obviously.
House.
I
I got
didn't
a
make the
question there.
conscious choice over it. It just missed me. It missed me. I don't know what to tell you. It missed me. It missed me. But yeah, this stuff is just more. This is just more goofy, weirdo,
Hey man,
westernized hyperliberalism.
2022, man.
Yeah, it sucks. Like, you know, we've lost the ability to understand the difference between disagreeability and like actual reprehensible comments. And like
Mm.
just because an individual says I want to do stuff that is traditional family values, uh heterosexual relationships, you know, sexually binary children and all of that good, like there's that should not be met with an accusation of bigotry. Like in the world there are still people who choose to live like that in their family structure. Why is that bigoted? I don't you know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Hey
But
man, everybody gotta live that way, man.
yeah, I hear that. I hear that. It's wild business, man. Wild business. Well, like I said, I believe that she's going to end up apologizing at some
I hope
point.
not.
I hope
Bruh.
not, but you know how
Full
this
House
stuff
girl? No
goes.
way.
I well, I'm speculating. I'm sort of,
No, I
you
hear what you're
know,
saying. No, I hear what you're
yeah,
saying because I wouldn't be surprised if an apology came, and that
yeah,
that I agree with because
yeah.
you get forced into to submission by this stuff.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying, she's gonna bend the knee. I'm not saying it's gonna be because she's just gonna do it because she genuinely feels she was wrong, because she's not. I just know, you know, she's gonna have to bend the knee in some kind of way to appease these lunatics. Um,
But
Social media troll world, man, it's a mother. The world is run on the internet. I tell you. Um,
hey, I'm a bigot. Hey, I'm a bigot. Am I canceled
For
yet?
real, I guess you can lump me in there too. You know. But yeah, man, people need to calm down, man. When you feel yourself being triggered because you think that you're offended by something,
No
just
one
go have a
cares.
drink. Go get a
Yeah,
glass of wine. If you're a smoker, take a hit. Do whatever you got to do to take the edge off. It's not that serious.
it's
No
really
one's
not.
coming for you. They really aren't. The world isn't a worse place just because you have one more streaming show or movie that features a heterosexual marriage. I don't know. This stuff is just wild, but it is what it is.